As I've mentioned earlier on, tributes are coming in from all sectors for the former minister. The ANC says Mboweni lived his life in sacrifice, dedication and selfless service to the people of South Africa. And for more on this story, we joined virtually by President of the ANC Veterans League, Dr. Snuki Zikalala. Dr. Zikalala, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us and a warm welcome to Morning Live.
Well, good morning and good morning to your viewers as well.
Well, this is an incredibly difficult time, in particular for the Mboweni family, and who find it very difficult to come to terms with his death, and a major blow as well for the ANC at large for having lost such a gem. So, what's your reaction to the passing of Tito Mboweni?
Well, as Veterans League, we are really shocked and saddened by the untimely death of Comrade Tito Mboweni. And as you know, that he was instrumental in ensuring that he passes all the current labor laws that are in the country. And he was the person who was uncompromising in terms of ensuring that workers' rights are being enshrined in the Constitution and also are being implemented by the ANC government and also by workers as a whole. And so we are really shocked and saddened by his untimely death. And so we send our deepest condolences to his family.
Let's reflect a little bit, and I'm actually glad that you touched on, the issue of the workers' rights that he so fervently fought for while he was still Labour Minister. Do you think that workers' rights are still respected here in South Africa in the modern day?
No, workers' rights are highly respected by the current ANC government. Our government will never shy away from recognizing workers' rights. Actually, it's Tito Mboweni who brought in what they call NEDLEC, which is National Economic Development and Labour Council, because that's where the social compacting is, where Labour business community and Labour business community organizations, they meet together and ensure that they bring about stable contracting in terms of workers' rights. Secondly, as you know, when it came out, when we took over in 1994, he had to remove all apartheid laws and put in the labor laws in the country and ensure that they're implemented by workers. Also ensure that workers' rights in terms of maternity leave of women are being recognized by workers at shop floor level. He had a class conscience saying that without these workers who are spending hours at work without their families, this economy cannot run. And so we are saying that he was class conscious, was a person who was a comrade who wanted to ensure that workers' rights are being recognized in our constitution and are being added to by employers, and made sure that we had labor inspectors. When I was working at Department of Labor, we made sure that those inspectors are properly utilized. We raided companies. We made sure that unions have shop stewards who are trained in Work and Safety Act. They have to look after workers' working conditions. And so we are really grateful of the work that he played in ensuring that we have the country that respects labor laws in our country itself.
And of the many hats that he wore, he was also the Reserve Bank governor for a decade, and he was quite unrelenting in his defense of the privatization or the continued privatization of the Reserve Bank, of the Reserve Bank of South Africa. So does the ANC, in particular the Veterans League, also share that sentiment with regards to the privatization of the Reserve Bank?
Yeah, well, we share that sentiment. You cannot privatize the Reserve Bank, though we know that majority of the shareholders are private shareholders. He wanted to make sure that the Reserve Bank has its independence. His independence, making sure that it regulates what's happening in the economy, make sure that it protects workers' rights, and make sure that the economy is stable and the rand itself is stable. We really shared his vision, and we'll make sure that his legacy is not tainted, his legacy is not been done away with as the Veterans League.
All right, Dr. Snuki Zikalala, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for sharing your recollections of Tito Mboweni. Well, Dr. Snuki Zikalala, there is the president of the ANC Veterans League, Dr. Snuki Zikalala, and he's been sharing his fond memories of the late Tito Mboweni, who passed away last night.